You walked into a room last week, and something happened. People looked up. Conversations slowed down. Someone you barely know went out of their way just to hold the door for you. And you thought, was that about me? Here's the truth most women never hear. Attractiveness has very little to do with the size of your jeans or the symmetry of your face. The women who truly turn heads, the ones people remember long after they've left the room, they carry something different, something most women don't even realize they have. So today, I want to talk about 8 signs that you are a highly attractive woman. And I don't mean attractive in the way magazines define it. I mean the kind of attractive that makes people lean in, that makes people want to be around you, that makes you unforgettable. If even 3 or 4 of these signs feel familiar, pay attention, because you might be more magnetic than you think. Sign number 1. People feel comfortable around you almost immediately. Have you ever noticed that strangers open up to you quickly? Like you're at the grocery store and suddenly the woman next to you is telling you about her divorce. Or you're at a work event and within 10 minutes, someone's sharing things they probably haven't told their closest friends. This isn't a coincidence. Highly attractive women have this quality that makes people feel safe. It's not something you perform, it's something you radiate. And it comes from being genuinely present. You actually listen. You don't interrupt to make it about you. You hold eye contact without it feeling strange. Most people spend their whole lives around others but never really feeling seen. When someone like you comes along, someone who actually sees them, they are drawn to you like a magnet. This is a form of attractiveness that goes far beyond physical appearance, and it is rare. If people tend to open up to you easily, that is a very powerful sign. Sign number 2, you don't seek validation, but people give it to you anyway. This one is subtle, but it's everything. There's a difference between a woman who is always fishing for compliments, always asking, does this look okay on me? Or do you think they like me? And a woman who just moves through the world with quiet confidence. The second woman doesn't need to ask, and ironically, she's the one everyone is rushing to compliment. Highly attractive women have this settled energy about them. They've done the internal work, maybe through hard experiences, maybe through years of growth, and they no longer need someone else's approval to feel good about who they are. And people can feel that. When you stop chasing validation, something shifts. You become more grounded, more yourself. And that version of you, she is magnetic. So if you've noticed that people compliment you even when you haven't asked, even when you're not dressed up, even when you're just being yourself, that's not luck. That is your energy doing the work. Sign number 3. People remember what you said long after the conversation ended. Think about the conversations you've had recently. Have people come back to you later and said, I've been thinking about what you said the other day? Highly attractive women aren't just beautiful to look at. They are interesting to talk to. They have opinions. They have perspective. They share things from a real place, not just to fill silence. There's this idea that to be likable, you have to agree with everyone, stay neutral, never ruffle feathers. But that's not what creates a lasting impression. What creates a lasting impression is authenticity, saying something real, being willing to stand behind an idea even if it's a little uncomfortable. When you speak from that place, people don't forget it. Your words land differently. They carry weight. If people often quote you back to yourself or bring up old conversations or say things like, you really made me think, that is a sign that you leave a mark. And that is deeply attractive. Sign number 4, you are comfortable being alone, and it shows. This might be the one that surprises people the most. A woman who is comfortable in her own company, who can go to a restaurant alone, who enjoys her own space, who doesn't spiral into anxiety the moment she's not around people, that woman is profoundly attractive. Why? Because it signals that she is whole. She is not looking for someone else to complete her. She brings a full, complete person into every relationship, every friendship, every room she walks into. So many people are terrified of being alone. They fill every quiet moment with noise. They jump from relationship to relationship. They can't sit with their own thoughts for more than 5 minutes without reaching for their phone. But you? If you've learned to be your own good company, if you actually enjoy solitude without feeling lonely, people sense that. And it makes them want to be around you, because being around you feels like being around someone who has something, not someone who needs something. Sign number 5. Your presence changes the energy of a room. You don't have to say a word. You walk in and something shifts. Now, I want to be clear. This doesn't mean you have to be loud or extroverted or the life of the party. Some of the most attractive women I know are quiet. They're the ones sitting in the corner of the room, calm, observant, smiling softly. And somehow, they are the ones everyone gravitates toward. Because it's not about volume, it's about energy. Highly attractive women carry a calm, centered energy. They're not anxious. They're not performing. They're just there, fully. And in a world full of people who are half present, scrolling on their phones, thinking about what they're going to say next, a woman who is truly present is extraordinary. If you've walked into a room and felt the energy shift, if people look up, if conversations pause, if someone comes up to you within minutes, that is not your imagination. That is your presence doing what it does naturally. Sign number 6, people want to do things for you without you asking. This one trips people up because they confuse it with being helpless. But that's not what this is. Highly attractive women often find that people naturally want to help them, include them, do things for them. And it's not because they've manipulated anyone or played games. It's because something about who they are invites generosity. When you carry warmth, when you treat people with genuine kindness, when you make people feel good just by being around you, they want to reciprocate that. They want to be in your orbit. And offering help is one of the easiest ways to stay connected to someone who makes you feel good. So if you find that people go out of their way for you, that coworkers offer to cover for you, that strangers hold elevators, that friends show up before you even ask, pay attention to that pattern. It says a lot about the energy you're putting into the world. Sign number 7, other women notice you, eh? And not always in a kind way. I know this one might sting a little, but let's be honest. Not all attention is positive. And sometimes the most telling sign of your attractiveness isn't how men respond to you. It's how other women do. Highly attractive women sometimes experience coldness from other women, being left out, being talked about, having someone decide they don't like you before you've even spoken. This isn't something to be proud of, and it's not something to use to put other women down, but it is something to understand. When a woman feels threatened, it's usually because she's picked up on something real. Your confidence, your self-possession, the way people seem to like you effortlessly. These things can make insecure people uncomfortable. If you've ever walked into a social situation and felt invisible hostility from someone who doesn't know you, if you've been on the receiving end of that kind of unexplained coldness, it might have less to do with you and everything to do with what you project. The key is to respond with grace. Don't shrink. Don't fight. Just stay exactly who you are. Because confident, attractive women don't need to compete. They know there's room for everyone. Sign number 8, you make people feel better about themselves, not worse. And this is the big one. This is the one that ties everything together. The most attractive women, the ones who are truly magnetic, they have this gift. When you walk away from a conversation with them, you feel better, more confident, more seen, more capable. They are not the ones cutting people down to feel taller. They're not competing. They're not making little comments that chip away at your self-esteem. They celebrate other people's wins without flinching. They give genuine compliments. They make you feel like you matter. And here's the thing. This kind of woman is rare. Because this kind of woman has done the work on herself. She's not carrying a weight of unprocessed insecurity that she's dumping on the people around her. She's at peace with herself. And from that place of peace, she can be genuinely good to others. If people consistently tell you that talking to you made their day better, if you're the friend people call when they need to feel grounded, if you leave people feeling lifted, you are a highly attractive woman, in the deepest, most meaningful sense of the word. So let's bring it all together. 8 signs. Strangers open up to you quickly. You don't chase validation. People remember your words. You're comfortable alone. Your presence shifts a room. People want to help you without being asked. Other women sometimes respond to you with inexplicable coldness, and you make people feel better just by being around you. If you recognized yourself in even a few of these, I want you to sit with that, not with arrogance, but with a quiet, steady acknowledgement of who you are. Because attractiveness at its core is not about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about being present. It's about doing the internal work that allows you to move through the world with confidence and warmth at the same time. And if you're watching this right now, you're probably already more of that woman than you realize. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 8 signs felt most true for you? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video made you feel seen, share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear this today. She might not even know how magnetic she already is.